There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bom dia, Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal live stream from expatsportugal.com. Loving this. Hola, bom dia, gompistas this morning. Oh, Mrs. M, good morning. Just started. Are you all right? Good, okay. Bit of wine on the keyboard, I think, this morning. But I think we're okay so far. The prof is in. Bom dia e lembre-se que faltam apenas 43 dias para o Dia Nacional da Lavanderia. Oh, Prof, what are you referring to on this Moving to Portugal Thursday? Hashtag Laundrygate. Hashtag no place like Nome. Okay, and Baldylocks, good morning to Midlife Crisis World Tour and all the Gumpers this morning. And a new name, Inda Coley is here as well. Inda, hello. Good morning to you. Boom, dear, from you this morning. Have you been here maybe once or twice before? Good to see you anyway this morning, Inda. How are you? Are you thinking of moving to Portugal? That's what we're all about this Thursday and every Thursday morning. The people you need to meet, the places you need to go, the real life experiences. Talking of which, tonight, our Premium Plus group have a meeting, as you probably know now, because I do go on about it quite a lot. 9 o'clock on a Thursday is when the Premium Plus folks meet up. That's our accelerator program for helping people move to Portugal. And this evening, in our 12-step, it's a strange phrase to use, isn't it? But in our 12-section guide to moving to Portugal, this tonight is family and schooling. Now, the demographic means that not actually many people are interested in schooling currently with the current cohort. So I'm thinking more about family life. And of course, when you move to Portugal Thursday, when you move away, when you become an expat, there is that thing, isn't there, which isn't the bit we like to think of too much. You're moving away from family. There's that to manage when you're on the move and the difficulties of explaining to people. It's not personal. It's, well, I don't know what it might be, but that might be part of it. We want to move away. We don't want to move away from you. And when you get over to this side of the water, how to manage those friendships and relationships thereafter, and missing home, homesickness, and those sorts of things. And with all the upside and strawberry faces of life as an expat, and the upside, the sunshine, the food, the people, all those things. We love all those things, but there can be the homesickness as well, and we'll address that. Certainly, part of the session tonight will be addressing that. But I'm asking you this morning, how do you anticipate such things? How do you deal with such things if you've already moved? Homesickness, missing friends and family. What are your strategies for that? Do tell me, if you will. Or what are you afraid of or worried about in that regard if you're thinking of making the move? Is it enough to stop you, for example? Prof, Baldylocks, did you know that International Garden Gnome Day is June the 21st? No, I didn't know that either. What's he up to? I was going to bring you a rather dull today in Portuguese history about a 1920 civil servant strike, but did they manage to? It's an interesting little vignette there, isn't it? 1920s, a civil servant strike. Was that well planned? Were they able to do it quickly and efficiently, I wonder? But last night I found a much better one. So today in Portuguese history, I'm actually quite interested now in the 1920 civil servant strike. I want to know what happened with that. You can't tease us like that, Prof. Today in Portuguese history, 1975, the US Secret 40 Committee meets to discuss covert action in Portugal. What? Post 1974, the CIA had become concerned by the loss of a stalwart ally. Wow, its bases and the potential rise of a communist party. Well, of course, yes, Red's under the bed. Potential rise of a communist country in Western Europe. So there you go. Memo from the 40 Committee's Executive Secretary, Rob Ratliff, to Secretary of State Kissinger set out covert CIA action in Portugal. Well, they should make a Netflix series about. Oh, they did. But not presumably. Yeah, I guess that Gloria would have covered that in part, wouldn't it? But there must be so much good stuff to read about that and to learn about that. That's quite extraordinary, isn't it? And here we are, some 50 years later. And I was hanging out with some lovely new expat mates and some of the oldies as well. Not referring to your age, just how we've got to know each other over these last few months. And it's a far cry, isn't it? That here we are. Lots of Americans becoming interested in moving to Portugal now. And that is the backstory there, or certainly part of the backstory. Fascinating. Thank you very much, Prof. Exactly what we've come to expect from you. And so continuing with that, which is marvelous, the 40 committee had responsibility for overseeing all covert operations on Nixon and later Ford's behalf, and had been critical in overseeing CIA destabilization of Allende in Chile. They wouldn't do that, would they? This memo sets out some of the CIA's plans to interfere with the Portuguese election of April 1975. And you think the culture wars and all that kind of malarkey is new. 1975, folks. CIA, cutting-edge stuff, destabilizing other countries, or influencing, should we call it influencing, including funneling money to anti-communist activities, but much of the memo remains redacted. Surprise, surprise. When's that due for publishing? When do they lift such redactions, I wonder? Or does that never happen? The memo states that action must have no hint of US involvement. Yeah, I mean, when you see, I suppose, men in black suits walking around Estoril, shiny shoes, constantly with their hand on their hip, or I wonder what the tech was like in those days. But these guys stand out like sore thumbs, don't they? And if they don't, of course, they're doing a good job because you're not spotting them. But that is fascinating. It is more exciting than the 1920s civil service strike. No question about that. But still, I don't think I'm alone in wanting more information about the 1920s civil servant strike. What did they want? Did they want to let their hair down and be part of the Belle Epoque Art Deco era of flapping and drinking covertly? That wasn't all of the world, was it? Of course, that's a Hollywood shadow cast across the world of events in the United States. But what would it have been like to be a 1920s Portuguese civil servant, I wonder? Oh, well, we will move on and may return to that. And yes, wanting to know how you're managing your long-distance friendships, relationships, and with family, of course, on this move to Portugal Thursday. And at 9, Wiley's here. Wiley in Cascais. Great fun last time. Will be fun today, I'm sure, as well. We have some beautiful properties. If you don't like looking at beautiful properties, I do. I don't necessarily see myself living in a swanky, shiny glass and stainless steel erection somewhere on one of the attractive coastal and well-known coastal parts of Portugal. But I do really still like looking at those sorts of photographs and those sorts of websites. And today we've got everything. I mean, Wiley's here from Cascais, but my old mate in Fundao, Joseph. Sorry, my old mate, get his name wrong. James is here. Joseph is over there in over Fundao way. And Joseph was on. Oh, there's a little bit of the video that I was looking at about it. I think he's looking at a £30,000. Yeah, sorry, euro. What am I talking about? Old habits die hard, don't they? €30,000 farm in central Portugal. That's a contrasting property comparing with the wonderful properties that Cascais offers and that Wiley will be showing us at around 9 this morning. Okay, so we look forward to that as well. I love it. I do love looking at those homes. And so let's get back to Stephen Wright and George Carlin this morning, of course. What have they got to say for themselves? They don't run out, do they? Those pithy one-liners just keep coming from the minds of Stephen Wright and George Carlin. Thanks to T-Duck, of course, who will join me tomorrow morning. Is it Friday already tomorrow? Is it Thursday already today? Was it Wednesday already? Are these weeks going around faster and faster? They are for me. Stephen Wright quote of the day. The other day, Oh no, that wasn't me. Very good. I'd never heard of Stephen Wright until we started doing this, and now I feel like I know the guy. George Carlin quote of the day, but I don't think you ever know comedians, do you? George Carlin. I'll have to ask Tama next time we see him. George Carlin quote of the day. Oh, Tama's doing some great fundraising gigs for the Ukraine, by the way. So you get to laugh and do good things if you go to one of Tamer's gigs upcoming in Lisbon. He lives in Lisboa, of course. That's where he is at the comedy club and the comedy workshops and so on. Our mate Tamer Katan doing some good fundraising work and comedy for Ukraine at the moment. George Carlin quote of the day. I've had my head in the sand, folks. I can only expose myself to sorry, I will continue the rest of that sentence. I can only expose myself a certain amount to world affairs. Yesterday was one of those days. I don't know what's going on or how serious the situation is. You might want to tell me. You might not in the chat. If all the world is a stage, where is the audience sitting? Yeah. Yeah, now you mention it, George. Thank you for that. T-Duck, thank you very much. Oh, Joao F is here with the early birds this morning. What time was that, Joao? That was, 1:15 this morning. Good morning, you early birds. Great to have you here, of course, and good to know we can always count on our allies, isn't it? Going back to the CIA there. Oh, man. Lonnie's in here, Lonnie McLaughlin as well. Lonnie sent me another close-up picture of the Carretos and the Burning Man part of the Carretos. I'll play that before Wiley gets here this morning. Thanks for that, Lonnie. Great to talk with you yesterday. Thank you so much, Lonnie. And tonight, of course, Lonnie, you've got some good strategies, I think, for coping with being away from family and friends. We recorded an interview about that, didn't we? So I might spin that into the session at 9 tonight. Profile pic, of course, William Colby. I was going to say Lyndon B. Johnson and embarrass myself again, which I've done now. He does look a little bit like Johnson, doesn't he? Americans, would you agree? Profile pic, William Colby, who was head of the CIA from September 1973 to January 76. Looks like such an unassuming fellow. But so many men look like that, didn't they, in between 1973 and 76? You Americans probably all had relatives who looked like that, right? In the minutes of a February 1975 meeting, he tells Kissinger things were going badly in Portugal. Yes. But, well, I suppose long term, he didn't have anything to worry about, did he, in that regard? Or, I mean, I don't know, do the CIA ever stop worrying on everybody's behalf, I wonder? And on that note, I have made the acquaintance. Now, if you've listened to the, well, you must have heard it from time to time on this show. The thirst for freedom overcame all fears. Is that now etched in your mind? The thirst for freedom overcame all fears, which was a line from a revolutionary, well, I won't put it quite like that. I'm going to call it the commentary, a documentary, a YouTube clip about the 1974 Carnation Revolution. And the voice you hear in that is Caterina Princip. And I got in touch with her and I said, I've used your voice. I hope you don't mind on this inspirational little clip I've made about, because that's me and a few of the other expats are very excited about the Carnation Revolution. I didn't mention the crocheting of the red carnations. We'll get round to that, of course, as well. But a lot of us expats, because we have a certain view on it, don't we? We have a certain lens, optic, I think, are the current contemporary words to describe such things. And I've left the heating on in here. It's really. I didn't go out with the dogs. Dog walking was delayed. Very windy and rainy this morning. So I heated up the studio, and now I can't reach the heater, and it's getting hotter and hotter. You can use my face and forehead as a thermometer this morning. The redder it gets, the warmer the weather report here in the Good Morning Portugal studio. Anyway, where was I? Red foreheads, red carnations. That's maybe what triggered it. I got in touch with Caterina because she is. I think she's important. I think she's even a mate of Mia's, our mate Mia Ajmerish. And I said, I hope you don't mind. I've used your voice. Can I share it far and wide? And she said, yeah, that's cool. I thought, we need to talk to Caterina Princip. She has a good understanding of the Carnation Revolution, a very strong commentary on it. The clip I use is part of, I think, of over an hour of her talking about what happened since the Carnation Revolution here in Portugal. And she's going to come on the show, everybody. You're going to hear that voice and you think, I know that voice from somewhere. So the woman who said, the thirst for freedom overcame all fears, which is a sentiment I absolutely love and have immortalized on that little clip that I played at the end of the show yesterday, is going to join us to talk about politics. And some of you will remember, we talked about Portuguese politics before, and during the end of the conversation, the man who I was talking to, Miguel, said, oh, yeah, I'm a member of Chega. And the the color drained from my face. Not that I don't think people should be able to talk about their politics, but I had no idea, and it was as much to do with my own personal stereotyping of people who are supporters of Chega. It kind of threw me. And for the purposes of balance, and it's long overdue, we have had Michael Heron talking about Portuguese politics from an expat point of view. But I think balancing up the other end of the political spectrum will be Catarina Principe at some point, who, as a total sport, said, yeah, go on then, why not? I'll do that. So we can talk about Portuguese politics. And I think when it comes to the celebrations of 1974, which there was 50 years, of course, in a couple of years' time. But we can talk on the anniversary with her as well, if she's not too busy. I imagine she's in big demand around that time of the year. Isn't that great, though? Catarina Principe, folks, she will be joining us. Jenny B tomorrow, Feel Good Friday tomorrow with the Jenny B. And tonight, talking of forthcoming attractions on Expats Portugal, let's look at what's happening tonight. It's the Ask Our Expats Anything About Life in Portugal session, and it's Pets in Portugal tonight, led by Ana Vieira. Over there in Cascais as well, by the way. Does anybody have one of these as a pet? No, this is part of Guess the Gumper as well, wasn't it? So who was this? 1982 UCSC. Can you tell me what that stands for, please, again, James? Ultimate Frisbee Championship. Who was that in 1982? Well, we can reveal the mystery. Is this guy inside there? Thank you, James, for that very much indeed. Look at that slug's eye view of the redwood forest there. It's a little bit pixelated, but you can see his little eyes. Do slug eyes look backwards? I wonder. No, that's a bit of anthropomorphism, Carl. Okay, let's carry on with your greetings this morning. And we must play the Burning Man close-up as well before Wiley joins us and we start drooling. Well, some of us will be, oh, no, I wouldn't never want to live in somewhere like that. And others will be, wow, given half a chance, I'd love to live somewhere like that. And others might be thinking, it's interesting, isn't it, how we've, how the culture of homes has changed, certainly in Portugal, the styling, the architecture, and all over the world, how it is. The expression of great wealth, obviously, it's a sociological document, isn't it? Looking at some of the most expensive. It says a lot about us, I think, us human beings. And of course, it's just one view of humanity, of this incredible experiment called humanity, which is having some, interesting sub-experiments at the moment. Brian Taylor is here. Bon dia, Gumpers. Hey, Brian, how are you? And I've forgotten the name of your dog. Do forgive me. Remind us, and that will get into the memory muscle. But of course, Taxi's saying hello to your dog. From Finland this morning. Do you put that there so that I will do that? I wonder, Suze. Will he do it? Will he go, and that makes sense to me. That's the Portuguese way of saying woof, woof, I believe, isn't it? Hola, bon dia from Hank. How are you doing, Hank? Reminder. Thank you very much. How are you? Happens to me all the time. I wonder what that is. And a bon dia, chuvoso. Bit of vocab for you there. Rainy day, good day, rainy day. And is it peeing down? Hey, João F., what is the Portuguese equivalent of raining cats and dogs? Which is very pertinent and appropriate on the Pets in Portugal Day that we're having on the webinar tonight. So yes, what is raining cats and dogs? Not a literal translation, but what do the Portuguese say for it's hashing it down outside at the moment. Happy Thursday from Hank to all you wonderful Gumpers. And Andrew's here as well. Morning, everyone. How's it going? How about a bit of news from everybody this morning? So tell us, say hi. Say what's going on for you. And if you can make it Portugal related, that's even better, isn't it? And to the prof, how very true, but only in politics, because when it comes to friendship, I'd say there are friends in life and there are friends for life. Excellent. And pithy wisdom from the João F there. And the Hola bon dia todo faz do dia today. Luther Vandross, if you're American. A house is not a home. I saw Luther twice in the 1980s and not down Tesco's. Once at the Hammersmith Odeon and the second time at Wembley. One of my top three artists. Amazing, yeah. I was listening to Luther yesterday myself. I think it was probably because of your suggestion. Listen to the classic Never Too Much with that Marcus Miller bass on it. Deagle's here. Bon dia, Carl, from a mild blue sky Belfast. 8 and 9 degrees today. We haven't done the weather, have we? I think we should have a look at the weather today because we didn't need to, did we? It was just nice for ages. Well, that was the weather report. But things have changed. We've got some sort of storm here this morning. My theory that growing up in the US, we never learned anything about Portugal after 1974. Look at that. Dropped dropped from the world, from the view of the world from America in the history and geography books on purpose? Did Spain just end and go into the sea? And Portugal was not to be mentioned anymore after that for the Americans. Not sure I'll be able to watch the guest. Oh, stop it, Rebel Mama. That's the epitome of closed-mindedness. Come on, don't be focusing your like that on our dear guest Wiley. But your choice, of course. But I think you might be making a political point there in the middle of a real estate show. I have basic cable with one English news channel. France 24, as of yesterday, CNN, BBC, World News, and Euronews appeared. A friend said in a crisis news. In a crisis, news channels are free. Funny that, isn't it? Yes, but you're not going to be seeing RT on there. And from the Rebel Mama, hola, bon dia, gumpistas. Love that, Rebel Mama. Baldilocks, that must be nice for you. What's going on with him? I have read the HOAs. What? It can be quite expensive. We live in the country, so I don't even know what HOAs are. Can somebody explain to me? Or I'll have to scroll back myself if nobody does that. And Jean, hola, bon dia, from Jean. How are you doing, Jean? And more US idiocy on parade. Biden called the Ukrainians Iranians. Yes. Now, I don't like to mention this anymore for fear of upsetting. I'm not going to be upsetting Rebel Mama here. She sounds upset already. And that sounds to be no fan of the Joe. I nearly called him Sleepy Joe. That would be very disrespectful. Biden called the Ukrainians Iranians during his speech last night. His vice president was mouthing Ukrainians at him, but I don't think he saw that at the back of his head. He would have needed that in his earpiece or on the doobry at the front. What's that called? The newscasting thing. What is that called? Can someone tell me that as well? Line, please. It's like being on stage, isn't it? Forgetting your lines. But I've got you all here, which is great to help me. So glad I am no longer there. Well, come on, Rebel Mama. You're going to have to stop watching the news as well. You're here, but you're still watching the news and still being depressed about it. So that is my little prescription for you. So you don't have to keep being peeved and triggered by it. Maybe don't watch the buffoonery that you speak of there. Good morning from a wet morning. Yeah. I saw on Facebook, actually, no weather is bad weather if you're correctly dressed or prepared. That is one way of looking at it, isn't it? And I suppose that's life wisdom in its own little way as well. So, yes, it's wet, isn't it, in our neck of the woods this morning over here on the Silver Coast. Good morning to you, Jacqueline Branco. Good job it wasn't like this on Monday, wouldn't it? They wouldn't have been able to get the old Carretos burning effigy lit, possibly in this sort of weather. Lovely to see new names here and faces. Kimberly Ferguson, bon dia, very good. Don't be shy, other people. We know other people are watching and not saying anything. And you might not want to. You don't have to say anything, of course. But lots of people saying hello this morning. We're a friendly crowd. It could be, couldn't it, that it's looking a bit cliquey because we've got lots of friends who turn up every day, and that is such a good thing. But don't be afraid of these guys and gals here. Say hello, just as Kimberly's done here, and become one of the regulars. That's the only way to become a regular, isn't it? Is to keep popping up and saying bon dia, just as you've done there. Kimberly Ferguson, what brings you here? Maybe Cascais property this morning. Something in there for everyone, except Rebel Mama. Good morning from a beautiful rainy Gairas this morning. Gairas is just outside Castelo Branco. No, it's not. Please. Oh, no. I hope Philomena isn't watching because Philomena will put that on my rap sheet next time she's on. You said Gairas was near Castelo Branco. And what I meant to say, and of course, Gairas is just outside Caldas Reña. Okay, Caldas, not Castelo Branco. Caldas. Oh, Diane Schindler, also another new name. What does that say? Claim den something there on your Facebook picky. A lovely picture. Diane, good morning to you. Bon dia from Montestoril. Over there in Cascais. And Estoril area there. Thank you very much indeed. Raj is in. Bon dia. And Antonio F. Bon dia todos. Do you, says Rebel Mama, know the website Working Class History? There's a great episode on the Carnation Revolution. Let's have a link, please, from Working Class History. And is there a website called Ruling Class History, or is just that the World Economic Forum website? Bon dia, Gumpers. Feliz Quinta a todos. MC Slug in the house this morning. And Andrew, I landed in Umberto Delgado Portela, Lisbon in about 12 hours. Yes, it's got 3 names, you know. Yay! Counting down to the man cave. Back in time for the man cave. On terra firma, terra portuguesa. Love hearts from Suze. for you this morning, Suze. Carl, you are such a rabble-rouser. What? Gnomeless and hanging out to dry. What? I don't know what you're talking about here. So let's give that Burning Man effigy a spin. And because we want to fit that in before we start looking at this lovely property over there in Cascais, say a few more greetings after we have welcomed Wiley onto the screen. So where is that video? Here, I'm going to go and turn the heater off, Wiley. Well, what a welcome there for Wiley. That stiffened my sinews. I don't know about you, but I think Wiley's having one or two difficulties. Wiley, I had wine on my keyboard. You seem to have something on your camera this morning. What's going on? Do you want to join me yet, or not? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're happy to come onto this? Oh, you are. Okay. Ouch! You might be a little bit steamy.
There we go.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it?
It was weird. I thought it was my skylight or the curtains. I've closed the curtains. I've turned the lights off. Okay, yeah. I'm good. That was really weird.
What a world. Did you see that burning effigy there as you were trying to get rid of the
camera? I'm jealous I came in late because I can't figure out what I just missed. Where was that?
That is Podence, and some of our friends were actually up there earlier this week, and it's one of the sort of Mardi Gras style festivals. You might have seen these guys on some of the, Portuguese tourism brochures and websites.
Very cool. Yeah, no, have not seen them. Yeah. We had a carnival here, but one of the fun things they have a motorcycle parade, and so all the motorcyclists were wearing hats and bunny rabbit outfits, and they were zooming through Cascais. That's
yes. Well, I was going to ask you about that. So carnival in Cascais is a motorcycle parade. Was there partying? There's always partying in Cascais.
Yes, there's always partying, but there was a motorcycle parade. That's the one I heard and ran out and thought, what is all that noise? But at the Mercado, there was a big carnival parade, and the kids went down. That was really fun.
Oh, superb. So you've been having some fun over there. How are you? How have you been?
I'm really good. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're pretty good here. But I think am I hearing rain at your end as well? Is that lashing down onto your roof there? Yes.
We needed it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I mean, our reservoirs are so low, our forests are so dry, and most of the time, like at the end of the season, like in August, they'll shut down roads up through Sintra because they're so scared of people picnicking and the possibility of catching on fire. And so I thought, oh my God, if it doesn't rain, they're going to shut them down over the summer because it is bone dry. So I'm so happy for the rain.
And it's almost like being on holiday with you in a wood cabin, hearing the rain coming down onto the roof there. That's amazing. Got a bit of that as well here.
No, it's just because I ripped the roof out to make my cathedral ceiling, and so it's all so much louder.
You did that. Wow, that's amazing. So, wow, that's amazing. That was a lowered ceiling before, was it? And you've given it some more height and light that way.
That's why I bought it. I bought it because there was a little tiny stair in the kitchen, and the agent goes, look in there. And I'm like, there is a massive roof in here, and no one's ever, it was literally beam fiber. Like I couldn't even step in the fiber. I would have come down. That's how low. And that ceiling was like this big. And I was like, I'm blowing it out. So I did half loft on half cathedral ceiling.
I'm blowing it out. We're going in and we're blowing it out.
We're going in. It's right. It's great.
Right, raining in Lisbon as well. Oh yeah, give us your weather reports. I think a lot of people have been rain dancing in these last little while. We're glad of it, aren't we? But so tell me more about that then, because we love to talk to you about your part of Portugal, of course. Cascais, Estoril, you mentioned Sintra there. So there's lots of lovely picnicking opportunities, are there, up in the hills and the woods?
Oh, that's the cool thing. And I do that with all my clients. I get them in my car and I drive them literally like 15 minutes away from the ocean. And we're talking about vast 4 hours. My daughter and I have gotten lost in the forest. Like sometimes I liken it to the Blue Mountains in Australia, which is really dumb, but we have so many eucalyptus trees and it's so vast that sometimes you feel like when you walk in there, it's like this spa thing going on with the eucalyptus and the humidity. And it's forever. You can go forever. But I take them to the fire tower at the top. We can see, well, just one of the bridges in Lisbon. We can see the river. We can see the oceans. I can show them the Autodromo here where we're racing cars. Both. I can see both the castles here in Sintra. Just from this one outlook. It's gorgeous. But we also get proximity. You understand that Guincho is 10 kilometers long, the big street. But you can also see from Guincho all the way to Lisbon. And all of a sudden the clients understand, wait a minute, I can live in any one of these tiny bairros and still be so close to any others. So people come in with a preconceived notion is I have to live in Estoril, when they recognize that San João and Monte Estoril are literally this close and they all look like that. So when I get them back in the mountains, we can go hiking with the dogs. We've seen mountain goats. There is Quinta Pazal, which has donkeys. We can pick vegetables. Cascais has it grows its own vegetables. And for little or nothing, you can go in and literally rip them out of the ground yourself. They have tons of picnics at Quinta Pazal. They have birthday party areas for the kids. They can clap the donkeys, and the horses.
What do you mean, clap the donkeys? Clapping the donkey, what is that?
Oh, clap. Oh, sorry. Klappa is a Swedish word. Sorry, to klappa, to pet the donkeys. They can pet the donkeys there.
I'm glad we sorted that out because... Right, okay. Yes, you can pet the donkeys. Fantastic. Of course, you're alluding to your Swedish as well as American roots there. Superb. And all of this then, not far from the beautiful properties we're going to show this morning. And you very kindly, just on a quick note, and I will publish these links up, but you found some, and you used another phrase that I wasn't up to speed with. But some people were asking, weren't they, last time about... not sheltered accommodation exactly, but communities for older folks. Is that right? Is that what Opal facilities are?
Right. I think Opal is older people assisted living. And one of our guests had asked about that, and you and I suggested we could do a little bit of research on that, and found some assisted facilities, some 55+ facilities, some geriatric care facilities, and they look great. Not necessarily in institutions, if you will, or hospital-like places, but really kind of cool old houses and quintas and in good locations, and it's certainly available here.
And you very kindly did a bit of research, as you said there, and we've got some links which I've put onto the chat box right now. One of these sounds really beautiful: Cork Tree Residences, and so many comments this morning. We'll get to those, and we'll have a good chat and have a look at some lovely property, and we'll come back to those probably after Wiley's gone off to sell property. Although stay out of the rain today, right? Today's a sort of a bit of a duvet day, possibly, isn't it? But look, this sort of thing, Cork Tree Residences, and you very kindly found us brhportugal.com as well, and a report from Savills there as well, senior living reports for Portugal 2020. So going back a bit, but I'm sure that's very useful information. Thank you for responding to that. Really appreciate it. What have you got for us this morning? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 properties which we'll have a look at. They are so beautiful, Wiley, and a range of prices. Do you want to preface this before we have a look at a few of them?
Well, I think what's interesting to see is one of our members asked me to go up and help him source a property. I think you also went to see it up in Óbidos in the Caldas area.
I did, right. Yeah.
And I wish we had pictures of that one. That would have been a good idea, because Gosh, I don't know. Can we grab that real quick? I don't know if we can. I might not be online anymore, so I guess that would be dumb. But they got how many thousands of square meters was that they purchased? Can we call it 2 football fields, 3 football fields worth of property?
That looks about right to me.
Right.
I hope you don't think I was treading on your toes, but we're working with those lovely people as well.
No,
and he was a little bit worried about mention of a chicken poultry facility. So I live near there. I'll go and have a look for you, because it would have been awful for them if they had bought online only to discover the whiff of poultry.
Yeah, no. I've been up there like 3-4 times, and I'd never experienced it, and the selling agent had never experienced it. But the interesting thing that I'd like to just correlate the two is that the price tag on that property for a 5-bedroom home, on that amount of property with that view, there, which is exactly an hour north from here, and then one of the properties that is coming up here, which is the exact same price for a tiny little apartment, with an ocean view, over here in Barrio de Rosario. And I just can't, imagine the lifestyle that they've chosen for themselves for, what someone could have basically, a 1-bedroom here for.
Yeah, it's amazing. Something for everybody. And earlier on, before you were here, I was showing a property, a friend of ours, Joseph Marsh in Fundao, 30,000 euros. For I think it probably need. I imagine it will need some work doing on it, but 30,000 euros, you can still buy a beautiful place in the middle of nowhere. If that's what you want here in Portugal, isn't it wonderful?
But the ones that our guests had, the one that they bought there was not in the middle of nowhere. You'd have to agree.
Brilliant location. A superb location. Yeah. Caldas de Rainha. I think it's a little bit of an American hotspot at the moment, Caldas de Rainha. And the areas around it, Silver Coast, of course. So then maybe we should start there and have a look at that one that you mentioned, and we'll work towards your wonderful 6.5 million euro listing a little bit later on, which is superb. But I think you were referring to the renovated apartment with sea views in Cascais there. So I'll bring it onto the screen and we'll have a look at that beauty as a starting point at 330,000 euros. Where are we? Renovated apartment. There it is, right there. And I'll share it. I won't just look at it myself. I'll share. Seems rude to do that. I'll share it with everybody else as well. There we go. That's the view you've got. Isn't that a fantastic view? This is what you can expect in your neck of the woods, isn't it?
You can. In some neighborhoods you can. And there's not a lot. As you can see around the buildings around there, the ones that are actually tall enough, they're few and far between. So it's not like you get these views all the time. You can get, as we talked about earlier, glimpses. But this is a pretty good view. What I like about this view is not only dead waterfront, because in the evening, ocean front gets quite dark. This has got a lot of life in it, in the evenings. And it's in a good neighborhood. The neighborhood has its own butcher right in front of it, and it has its Saquilinha, which is very famous for the franchise here for the right there on the right. For coffee, to have a little at the Saquilinha right there.
I didn't know. Hold on, tell us about Saquilinha. I've never heard of that. Is this a chain then over your way?
It is, and they're and the Portuguese love them. They're wonderful. The cakes and cookies and coffees are phenomenal. There's lines around the buildings. They really are fabulous. And to have a talho right across the street is quite lovely. And a winery, not a winery. A wine store.
your wine store. What do you call that? Is it a wine store in America? It's an off license in the UK. But you can get wine. That's the point here.
Liquor store, right? A liquor store, right?
That's right.
A wine boutique. No, but so that's cool about that is that yes, it's a little tiny apartment, but it's super fresh. All brand new windows, brand new floors, really great. And in the neighborhood where you don't have to walk very far to get any of the things that you need. So that's great. It's another
view there. I love it. What a great. I mean, if you were to buy that and then move to Portugal, open those windows in the morning, you would certainly feel like you were in the middle of things here in Portugal, wouldn't you? What a start! Lovely start to your new dream life here.
Look how much light's coming in. It's really.
I was just about to say that is the quintessential light and airy apartment, isn't it?
What they've done here, and you'll see it in a lot of apartments here, is the balconies are designed as balconies, but people renovate them, and so it's all part of the home. Sometimes they'll even remove that that sliding glass from the inside and just have it, as open space. And it really does become part of your living area as opposed to a part of your area. And the washing machine in there. What's nice about this particular house is they've taken the washing machine and not put in the kitchen. I think we had a discussion about washing machines in kitchens, how that's kind of a
I think we did talk a little bit about laundry last time, didn't we?
And you'll see what's next to that toilet, which is also unusual, is what I term as a how did I forget the name? Brazilian bidet. So people are taking the bidets out and they're just putting it. They're putting a hand wash system, like a spray system, next to the toilet. So it's kind of a combo, and that way you can build in other things in the bathroom and kind of get rid of that, old-fashioned bidet.
Well, I need to ask you about this.
Do you?
No, not on a very personal level, don't worry. But you say bidet, I say bidet, but Brazilian bidet. I mean, the mind boggles. But I've heard it said that by building regs state that you need to incorporate a bidet in new builds. Is that correct? Is that a Portuguese building code?
I am not seeing on all the new builds that they're having bidets, but they always have the disc on the floor that gives you the opportunity to have that. But I haven't necessarily seen them built in all the bathrooms. It's a little repetitive. It's like, for resale purposes, we should always have a bathtub. So if we're going to rip out, if there's 3 or 4 bathrooms, kind of be sure that you have a bathtub, because for babies it's really great. For young kids, it's showers aren't great for them. They love that idea of being surrounded by water. And so I haven't seen. I've seen the discs on the floor with the opportunity.
Oh, the disc on the floor. Yes, so that's because that was new to me as well. That's the sort of pre-plumbing, isn't it? Ready for such an eventuality. But there we have it. The possibility of not going full-scale European bidet, but going for the Brazilian bidet instead. You learn something new every day. That's amazing. So that's a beauty. That is your renovated apartment. Cascais area we're looking at. Renovated apartment with sea views in Cascais. 330,000 euros. So if anybody's interested in that, they can get in touch with you, of course, and we'll make sure that your details are displayed on the screen. We're having a look at property this morning. We don't do this often enough, in my view. And obviously, for people who've already got somewhere or they live in a different part of Portugal, it might not be a massive amount of interest. But I just love every now and then perusing property, and you have got some beauties here. So should we go to that T3, Nick? Are we kind of working our way up the price scale here?
Is that how you're doing it?
Oh, how would you like to do it? You tell me.
No, do it. Go.
Okay, because we have a T3, but lower to the ground by the look of it on this one. So let me share that on the screen right now. That rain is keeping up nicely, isn't it? This is exactly what I think we need right now.
We have some sun breaking through. I'm kind of hoping for some rainbows.
Oh yeah, actually, that's what I was going to ask you. That lovely light and airy property we just looked at. What's your sunshine rating over there in Cascais? I mean, people talk about 300 days of sunshine in Portugal. I think that's about right, isn't it, for Cascais?
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? So there's that blue sky again. T3 in popular condo in Monte Estoril. So tell us about Monte Estoril, if you will.
Oh, Monte Estoril is the mountain in Estoril. Monte Estoril is. I lived there for the first 4 years. I love Monte Estoril. It's very expat. It's one of our high-end communities. So the houses there are not inexpensive. The English you hear on the street is a good kind of 50-50 mix. There, it's beautiful. Almost everybody has a phenomenal view. This is a Club de Lago, which is unusual because it takes up a full city block. It has 2 tennis courts, which is really unusual. It has swimming pool, concierge, parking. It comes with a price tag. The monthly condo association fees on that are high. They're over 300. Now, in Sweden, that's inexpensive for all of the amenities. Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, I have an apartment in Sweden that has 0 amenities, and I pay $370 a month. But what I know about those condo fees is that everything's always perfect. The roof will always be in good shape. The asphalt will always be
Yes.
perfect. The gardening's done, and if there's ever an issue, we can afford whatever problems happen to the house.
Yes.
And so here, for your $370, you're getting swimming pools, tennis courts, playground areas for the kids, concierge, parking. It's a dated apartment, but it's got high ceilings. It's large. It has the standard floors, some wood, some marble. But it's, you can move into it and love it, or you can change it. But it lends itself to a lifestyle in Club Logo.
I think that's right. You could step straight into that lifestyle there, couldn't you? What a lovely balcony as well.
And if you released it, if you rented it out, you would be guaranteed that your renters they really wouldn't have to go very far. Montreal is about a 6-7 minute walk to the beach. It has its own train station stop. So it's a grocery store, a big grocery store. It has a number of parks, places for the kids to run around. Montreal is just, it's quiet. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it looks amazing. And it is a very, you probably cringe watching the property programs on TV and what people say they will do to properties. I mean, it is a very particular property, isn't it? The personality of the owner is very much in this one, isn't it?
Absolutely.
But you could, as you say, you could buy it as is, and I mean, are all these fixtures and fittings included? Is that how it would work?
Sometimes people sell something that's fully furnished if they need to, if they're moving on to something smaller. Very often, anything that's fixed follows, unless it's very specific, and they tell you that basically in the listing. I have a house that I just listed, and the owner said these particular designer lights are coming with me. And so everyone walked in and said, "Oh my God, they're beautiful." I'm like, and yet they don't come with the house. And as long as we're clear about that, but I sold a house where nobody was clear about it, and we really believed that everything was coming, and we got back to the house, and there were wires hanging from the ceiling. Everything was gone.
I mean, that is clearly such a loved home, isn't it? Where people have been very happy.
Yes.
That's not my taste or style. But I look at that and think that is so loved. The people have had an amazing time living there. That hasn't been just dressed up like that for the sake of photographs, has it?
No, and that is that's everything they've collected for their entire lives. So you imagine the energy and the memories of everything that comes with that.
Yeah, it's quite an incredible little view of somebody's personal life in Portugal there as well. Quite extraordinary. So we're looking at 1,090,000 for that. That's what your money's buying for you in Monte Estrel there.
And $370 a month.
And yes, of course. Mm-hmm. But I want to ask you, why is everything so expensive in Sweden?
In Sweden?
Yeah, because you said you don't get you might be paying that sort of money and not getting very much for your money in a condo.
No. What you get is peace of mind, because I think they take it a lot more seriously. That is one of 12 condos, and you really do own 1/12 of the building. And in doing so, when you pay into that, you're paying into your own investment. So for that money, I'm guaranteed that the upkeep of the house is, and we all sit on the board of directors, all 12 of us, and we all agree where the money's allocated. And so nothing ever looks shabby. I'm getting in trouble again. So basically,
no, it doesn't, Prof. Stop it.
So basically, here, the apartment I just bought here, I'm one of 8, and the realtor said, "Oh, you're so lucky. There's no monthly, charges on that. There's no monthly fees." And I said, "Well, what happens when a tree hits the roof?" And she said, "Yeah, that'd be your cost."
Right.
It's
okay.
not my roof. There's a number of us living at the top of this building. Oh, it depends on whose roof it hits. So it's lost on me. I wish I was one of 8 here, and we all had a common goal, and we all had it's a big investment. I'd like to know that I've invested well.
We can't not talk about this, can we? There's no place like Nome, as it were. How's it going with you and your neighbours with the projects? All right, let's have a look at another property then. Okay, we're going to move on to what have we got here? Fantastic opportunity in Malveira da Serra. Can you explain that area to us? Because we're going a bit more rural now. which, looking at some of the comments in the chat here, is a bit more to the taste of some of our viewers. Be nice, everybody. Talking about other people's furnishings like that. It's like, what you do in your own home is your own business. Be nice, for heaven's sakes. Cost nothing. A little bit of decency. Okay, so let's go to Malvera de Serra now.
Malvera, I want to move to Malvera de Serra. I mean, it's my goal. I love. So this is cool because the amount of property that you're getting, let's look at that property number. Was that 2,900 something?
Is, yes, yeah, absolutely. 229. And this is 1,300,000. Sorry, were you talking about capacity there or price?
No, it's all good. So for 2,900, you're guaranteed your only neighbors are animals. And that might be to some people's taste. There's mountain behind you, an ocean in front of you. This house needs some love, but imagine it's what we're talking about with one of our members up in Caldish. Think of the opportunity you have to spend hours in the forest and do your gardening and create something that's different. The charm and personality that's on the inside of this house is phenomenal. I love the space. It's great. It's like living here. You get in your car and you drive 12, 15 minutes down the hill. You are in downtown Cascais. Like you're missing nothing by living.
Oh, look at that view. You open that door in the morning and you see that view as well. I think we're liking this one, aren't we? Very peaceful.
And still tiled.
Yes, still light and airy, of course, and some 70s hi-fi equipment. I'm always happy to see that in a home. You've got some beams. You've got, despite it being what looks like a bungalow in a wooded area, you've still got a lot of light on this aspect at the front here, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yes, look at that. Oh, it's lovely big open plan living as well. Nice leather chair to sit in and look at that view. Yep, you can see this one's floating my boat here, but each to their own. Yes,
fireplace. Yeah, I mean, just love this space.
Yeah, and your dining room in there. Mrs. M needs to see this one. Fantastic. They do like their music in this house, don't they? Look at the size of that speaker. What?
Well, because you can. There's like no one around, right? You can blow it out.
Oh, you can. I mean, they had their own carnival here, I think, didn't they? It's a superb spot. Okay, and the more traditional, not the Brazilian B-Day here.
No. And a need for an updated one because in the United States, where we have to have the low-flow toilets, and in the updated toilets, we have two options. A little, and a lot. Here, it's just one.
It's straightforward. It's straightforward bucketful in this. In this particular, and I like that as well because that is a color you don't see too often in a bathroom suite these days.
There you go.
Because you could actually take the chance of not refurbing and letting that come round again. But look, clearly more than one. Oh, and a special jet style shower there. Make sure the shower curtain is in position for that one. I do love this place. I really do.
It's got
lot of space. How many rooms have we got here? How many are we talking about at 1.3 mil? Oh, only 2 bedrooms though. That's interesting. So you're paying quite a lot for location here, and not so much for floor plan. It would seem. Is that right?
And as you see, barely people. Sometimes the garage is returned into a portion of the house, and imagine you could put a huge French door on there and have that as a walkout and add another room to the house.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were thinking that as they were seeing that picture, and might agree with you. So you could convert that garage into something a little bit more usable. I do like this though. What a place! What a place! And as you said, great location. How quickly into Cascais with this one?
15 minutes max.
15.
It's all downhill.
Okay. And what is that energy rating? D. You got a little bit of work to do on that as well, haven't you? By the sound of it.
Right. And they weren't really big on this. Was probably someone's summer house, so insulating really wasn't a thing.
Ah, of course. But I don't want to end on that particular picture there of the spare room. What I want to do is look at this big open plan main living space here, which I think is absolutely delightful. Isn't that great? And I mean, your summer house. If you've got 1.3 mil to spend on a summer house, you could do a lot worse than this. I love that. And it's already got its own sound system. Get in there, put on your favorite tunes when you arrive on holiday. That is superb. And again, with Jakobsen. Is that how we say it? Or
yes. Yeah. No, a Swedish company that I work with. It's really
Swedish company you work with. Superb. So then finally,
one of my partners. Yeah,
oh, cool.
great.
Well, and of course, this is what you said last time. You have a great network over there for everything to do with any aspect of buying the home. So it's either you or someone you trust and are connected with.
Right.
Beautiful villa with pool next then. Let's have a look at that. And we're in Estoril now. We're going. Where are we going? We're heading back towards Lisbon, are we now? With
yeah, and this is near the casino.
Oh, excellent. Okay, the very famous casino there, place of the James Bond origination, I would think. And this is a beauty. There we go.
Huge,
lovely pool.
gorgeous.
Oh, look at that. All right, tell us about the location first, then, if you will.
Walking distance to casino. So it's
okay.
in and around the casino. In and around the casino, there are amazing homes, statuesque, really old world. I think this is kind of where it was, where the rich and famous were hanging out and had their villas right around there. So when now they're kind of seeing another generation coming in, they're starting to renovate, which is kind of, as we talked about earlier with that first one, it's just, or the second one, there's something so charming about how it used to be. And yet we come in and we make the floor plans open and we blow ceilings and walls out. But in the olden days, there were smaller rooms, obviously for the heat and the air conditioning. And this house has got some really cool things. All the floors are original and the floors are gorgeous. Imagine the old wood planks that were beautiful, the old stones. Look at those wood floors. The fireplaces are solid marble.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. The radiators are, I know that. I love them. I think they're beautiful. They built an annex, and all they did in that annex was put a dining table with an open right out to the grass. It's just incredible.
Yeah, superb. Look, there we go. There's another. Oh, and you can open that side up. Yes, that is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, they certainly did it in indoor-outdoor lifestyle right there.
Now, one of your jobs, of course, is to vet people who want to view such places, because there are rascals around, aren't there, who just like looking around other people's houses.
Yes.
So you have to do a little bit of, you must have got good at that, sniffing out those sorts of people.
Yeah. Well, it's really important to talk to them before you get there, because you're wasting everybody's time if you don't.
Exactly. It might be a nice day out for them, but it's a waste of time for everyone else. Oh, I love
Look
this
at those
one.
floors. I just, gosh.
Oh,
And
there's
a closet right there.
It's wine. Yes,
it's a wine room. They just open the door and it's fully refrigerated.
Get on. It's refrigerated. Is that where I keep my cigars as well then?
Look at those floors. I love that door. Love.
It is amazing, isn't it? So an observance of an original feature there. And then what we got here? We've got a child's room or games spare guest room or something.
Because the rooms are massive. Huge.
Oh, hold on a minute. Huge. Someone's left a car in a room there.
Look, it's an art gallery.
What is happening there?
No, the garage is right next to the front door. So you either come in the front door or you open the garage door.
But that's a special car that's got its own paintings, isn't it? Okay. And again, we're back to this sort of formality. And I to me, this is a sort of class you can't buy, isn't it? This is how some people grow up and live, isn't it? I don't think I've ever had that many bottles of alcohol in my life, but I don't live that sort of lifestyle. Look, this is a beautiful home. A little snug there, so you can go and have a little bit of counselling in the corner, can't you? Or have a little private conversation. Love it.
That's where the fireplace is.
Yeah, but I love this kind of mix of formality, informality. They've done it really well here, and the photos are beautiful. Look at that. It's a wooden staircase. Yes, wooden stairs up there, and a small family breakfast in the smaller room there without all the extra formality. Oh, super. Blue skies again, of course. Blue skies of Portugal. So your neighbourhood here, you're in a little bit of a neighbourhood, but presumably not too far to get out into the wilds.
Not too far and not too close to your neighbours, which is great. This is what some of the old properties kind of avail themselves to the privacy.
And look, that somebody was asking earlier on where to hang the laundry. There it is. It's been thought of in this property, just over there to your left, out of the window there. Very good. And nothing left unconsidered in this beautiful home here. Lots of nooks and crannies. There's a lot of mystery in this house, isn't there? And interest.
Well, they also had butler's kitchens very often, so where the staff would.
No way. Seriously. Wow. Okay. Look at that.
Yeah, this is something. It gets funky. And to your point, do we leave it just because it's so eclectic, or do we actually change it?
I would leave that one. I like that. I mean, that's very Portuguese, isn't it? Using, they look like indigenous materials to me, which we're blessed with. here in Portugal.
But Portugal is really it's. I mean, marble here is we're a source of marble for the world. I mean, they have incredible marble here.
Take your pick. Take the pick of the best, don't you? Here and end up with a lovely bathroom like that or restroom. Look at that. Lots of clothes as well. My goodness, that is the clothes have their own room. The car has its own room.
I have a walk-in closet.
Yes. And up in the attic. Oh, that's a beautiful. If you're going to work from home, that's a great place to do it, isn't it?
Great space.
Beautiful. And look at that view as well. That is superb. What a lovely place. Fantastic. And I think there's a little bit of another bathroom up there in the attic as well, by the look of it. Superb home at 3.5 million euros there in Estoril. Thanks again to Anna Vilassa for letting us show these from Jacobson Properties. Anything else you want to say about that one, Wiley, before we move on to your listing?
No. It's just a beautiful neighborhood.
It is. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely place. Okay, so let's go on to yours right now. And we are looking at Quinta Patino. We're going a little bit higher up the price scale here. Quinta
Patino is the premier gated community. You have to be vetted to get through the door.
Do you?
Okay. Yeah, you can't even be an air conditioner, repairman without having to pull over and give your license.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought you meant to buy a place there. I mean, okay, all right, fine. I was getting worried just in case I was going to put an offer in. I was going to ask you what. As well. Okay, so that's just for people coming in and out of the place. You're stopped at a kind of checkpoint. Right. Okay, I used to live somewhere like that, Aroeira, down there south of Lisbon. I quite liked it actually. So here we go, and we've got a lovely slideshow ongoing that you can look at. So Villa in Quinta Patino Loto. Where is this? Where can you position that in the whole area there?
Sure. If you're coming from the casino when you drive away from the water, and so you're driving north and you drive through, there's a road that cuts Estoril Golf at the Country Club Estoril on the left and the right-hand side of the street. And you cut over Estoril Golf, and it's a gated community on your right-hand side. And this particular property sits between the 11th and the 12th floor.
Okay.
And 11th and 12th. Did I say floor? 11th and the 12th hole.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I just said right because I'm looking at comments. I'm looking at pictures. This is one I want to show as well, and I think I need to just change my view here because we've got some lovely close-ups of the slideshow that you can see there. So you've got golf course living, a bit like Aroeira here, then between the 11th and the 12th hole of the golf course.
Right.
Okay, so this is a total lifestyle thing, isn't it? This is probably a golden visa home, is it not?
At this price range, it's high, but everyone who lives there is it's a predominantly expat community. People who really, really feel the need to have Securitas driving around 24 hours a day, cameras, barbed wired, outer fences. It's really high. You don't get break-ins here. It's hard sometimes for me to get in. So it's high security, and if that's a push for you and important for you, absolutely. You don't necessarily see a lot of neighbors. The gates, the trees, the walls, everyone has their own space.
All right, and we've got a lovely slideshow, some of the close-ups here. I was gladly downloading all these images, and they're on a special kind of, and I guess you have to be careful, don't you? And realtors, estate agents have to be careful with making their pictures not nickable.
Sure. I listed a property and we sold it. And a month later, I saw pictures online and I called the owner. I said, did you ever because I had the exclusive. I'm like, did you ever enlist someone else? And he said, no. Yeah. We realized that they'd stolen our pictures.
Yes, that's amazing, isn't it? So you got to be careful with that. So this is the best I could do with this one, but the lines in here are beautiful. Look at that great view. Are you seeing that on your particular screen? There you are, aren't you? That's
you
fantastic.
Can see Lisbon from that one. That's the roof.
Superb.
Yeah,
great job.
Amazing.
And this marvelous space. I do like that kitchen as well.
The kitchen was designed so that you wouldn't see that it was really a kitchen. So everything is behind walls. Even if you want the oven, the microwave, that you'd have to open up walls and doors, and then they're inside and you close when you're done. So it was designed as part of the space. Okay,
and the big closet question: are there enough? This is a big deal for people. It never has been for me, but I know some people will. It's a win or lose deal breaker, isn't it? Closet space, a lot of storage here by the look of it.
Yeah, that's the children's suites. Upstairs, he has his own walk-in, and you walk through his. And upstairs, she has her own walk-in, and you walk through hers to get to her master bedroom.
Oh, my word. Okay, and look at this beautiful architectural feature. This is the staircase, obviously. So we're over 3 floors then, are we?
Yeah, it's terraced. It's interesting. There's 2 floors over here and 3 floors over here.
Oh, my word.
And they kind of go like this with each other.
That's a beautiful thing, isn't it? And you don't want to forget anything when you're going from top to bottom here. It is a beautiful place in which to forget things. And there's a bit of a close-up of the kitchen. That's lovely. Really like that a lot. And a beautiful bathroom there.
Children's bathroom, if you can imagine, it's about 3 square. It's big.
That's just the kids one, is it? That's incredible, isn't it? All right, superb. Let's have a look at the outside now. Should we go out onto the outside of this property? So hold on a minute. What's happened here, Wiley?
Even in the best neighborhoods, even in the best.
I can't believe it. This is a very thoughtful. So you can have it as you wish here. And for those of us who like our laundry outside, there are facilities for doing so. And even a nice little garden gnome there.
What's a garden without a gnome? In your best neighborhoods.
That's amazing. So there you go. A Portuguese living at its best at 6.5 million euros there. Could you tell us the location again, if you will?
Tipitino.
Okay, that's superb. So thank you so much for sharing all of those with us today. That's been amazing. Anything else you want to say about your area? We are having a whip round to buy you a nice garden feature, and our first. I'm trying to find it now, but the first we thought of when we for our shopping list. Would you like? How about a couple of these outside?
Those I actually like. I think I'd paint them, but I really like them. I like her attitude.
It kind of says, if you're going to be coming into my house, you better be on serious business.
That's
there.
right. That's right. But he has a much different attitude. You can see he's quite okay with all of it.
I think so. That's another Portuguese vignette there, isn't there? Portuguese, an older couple possibly. That's the Avo and Avo there, guarding the gates of your house. Wiley, thank you so much for being here this morning. Sorry, I'm not trying to rush you away. Anything else you want to say before you get back under the duvet and keep away from the rain today?
No, I have to go. I have to go to a listing. No, it's good. Of
course you do. Of course you do. All right. Look forward to seeing you again soon. And we'll see you next month. Oh, and sorry, big omission on my part there. How do people get in touch with you to organize a viewing, a listing, or to make an offer, of course?
WileyandPartners.com.
WileyandPartners.com, which I love your website, I got to say. I'm going to put in, and there's some good blog pieces in there as well, some helpful stuff for people. So let me put that on the screen on a banner now so everybody's got it.
That's an interesting thing. I just wanted to wrap up. I had some clients come in, and it was really hard for her to land because she couldn't find her community. And so one of the things I talked to her about when I went through Facebook with her and showed her, moms from whatever country, there's almost a Facebook group for every one of them. And so I'm going to write a blog and do a lot of links about communities, because I think that Expats Portugal does such a good job of connecting people and creating a community. So when people get here, they already feel like they're part of it. And that's just one of the beauties of Expats Portugal.
Oh, thank you so much.
Absolutely. I mean, to come here and not know a soul and just feel completely lost. There's so many different Facebook sites. So I feel like I need to go in and just kind of clarify it for people, so nobody ever feels like they're not welcome, because it is. I mean, it's everybody embraces new people coming in, and they're so excited to show them all their favorite parts. And so I'm going to add another blog, as you mentioned, blogs on the website. I just so called to do that. I felt my heart was breaking for her. And then finally, when she landed in the communities, even with the children, she just, tears running down her face, like, oh my God.
Really?
So, I think if we can get it done kind of quicker, not quicker, everyone has their own pace of how they land and where they land, but just to know that there's resources of places to land. So,
superb.
Again, kudos to Expat Portugal for doing that.
Thank you. No, appreciate that. And I was saying tonight with our, we have an accelerator program to get them over here. People have just definitely decided Portugal's for them. How do we do it? We break it down into all the people you need to meet, and we handhold and we take them through the steps. And tonight it's the final session of the 12-part cycle that we do. It's about family. We take in schools, but our demographic, we're not having too many people interested in schools. But it's about family and dealing with leaving. and dealing with being away from family. I don't know if you, as a well-seasoned expat, what's your view on that, on leaving people and keeping in touch with friends and family?
That's different for me because I came into a community. There's a very strong Swedish community, very strong American community. And so when I got here, I felt embraced by the family called community. But also, since my children live in Sweden, you have to know that the minute they have a week off, they're here. The sun, they can't, they're guaranteed to have sun down here. And now that they've been here so often, my community has embraced them. And I find that they call my friends on their way in from the airport, and they're already setting up paddle dates and golf lessons and times and places to hang out and go biking and hiking with people. So it's everybody who lives here has a child your child's age, and you will meet on some level. And whether you're hikers or bikers or paddle or sailors or whatever you do, your kids tend to do those things with you. And there's always something to do here. And Cascais, once again, is so good at bringing together events. If you go to the Facebook page that says, events in my community, you'll be overwhelmed. There's so many things to do. So your family becomes the family that's here, and also 30 minutes to the airport from Cascais. I mean, your family comes and goes all day long. It's so easy. So it's accessible. It adapts itself to outdoor play. Having a family here and bringing your family with you, missing people back home, they always show up. So always get one extra bedroom. That's right.
Plan with that in mind to have people come and join you. Wiley, we love you, says Capricorn 12. Thanks for the laundry laugh, says Sue. This is an interesting question. Do you only have high-end properties?
No.
I mean, by virtue of where you are, I guess it tends to be at the higher end. But you work in all sorts of instances and for all sorts of purses and wallets, don't you? So no is the answer to that, I think, Jess.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Have a great day. We will see you. We'll see you next month. Ciao.
Look forward to it. Thanks. Bye.
Bye for now. Bye. There she goes, wileyandpartners.com. If you want to catch up with Wiley, check out the blogs there that she mentioned. And good fun this morning. Thank you for playing nicely, everybody. Ish for some of you. And we'll go back over a few of your comments in the last, 17 minutes that we've got this morning. How's everybody doing? Okay, has anybody sent anything on WhatsApp? Let's have a quick look. Hold on. That's not what the disc on the floor is for, but okay. Borna, thank you, Borna, for your messages. And I've got to read some of these, haven't I, to myself before I read them out loud. Oh, and we've got to mention as well, April 15th, National Laundry Day. There's a day for everything, isn't there? It would seem in this world. And maybe we should feature some of the more unusual international days for this, that, or the other. So just not things of a universal nature being sent in on a WhatsApp yet, but 913-590-303. Wiley and Partners to get in touch with Wiley there. Superb. Okay, let's go back. I've got a lot of comments. I'm not going to get through all of these, as you know. And some of them, quite frankly, I don't want to read out. But I think some of them I really do. We've got great news from Jim White, have we not? Oh, hold on a minute. That's Jim talking to somebody else. But I think we've got some great news from Jim. I should have starred this earlier on when I saw it. So I'm going to scroll back. And you're going to see me pause quite a lot as I as I do a bit of vetting this morning. Gosh, you've been busy. I think you've been having a lot of fun, haven't you, in the comments? Furniture courtesy of Hugh Hefner. Everyone's got their own style and taste, Pete. Come on. Irony is dead, but ironing may be necessary. Very good. I didn't do this, did I, earlier on? I mean, really, today was the day when I might have given some of this. Okay, I'm still scrolling back into the comments here. It's funny, it's the little things in life, isn't it, that get you going. I'm going to give a little bit of psychotherapeutic advice here, I have to say, on this matter, that when you're triggered, although you might feel that all of the blame and anger is to do with what has triggered you, there's something going on in there. There's something that lives in you, isn't there, that's brought all that out. And, it might be useful to consider that in a sit-down situation with a psychotherapeutic professional or just a good friend. Or here, if you're an adventurous type, you might want to let it all hang out. Oh, my goodness, where's my Bovril? I think to do these comments justice, we have to be here all day, which we're not going to do. We'll be back again tomorrow for Feel Good Friday, but we'll do a few of these this morning. Carl, I will send you a pinpoint where Gairos Obidos is located. Oh, thank you for that. That is a great, it's not really a suburb of Caldas de Rainha. It is an outlying district of Caldas. Well worth a look, folks. Okay, Homeowners Association, HOAs, thanks for clearing that up. Often just short of a repressive paramilitary group. You see, this is what I'm talking about, isn't it? Whilst on the face of it, something may appear to be something, there's always some human malarkey going on beneath the surface. And there is a great example. I know exactly what you mean. Parent-teacher associations are the same. And these are just outpourings, aren't they? World War's another one, isn't it? I mean, who wants that apart from the arms makers and those rascals who seem to make a lot of money or power grab and land grab in these situations? Most of us don't want it. And we're having to put up with the unresolved issues of other people. So a little bit of a check there. If you find yourself getting triggered, as much as you... I've got something in my throat and a psychotherapeutic issue to sort out. So it's something trying to express itself. But as much as you feel righteously triggered by something, you've probably got a little bit of unresolved something going on inside you. Jenny B can help tomorrow with that. We got to that point where Carl starts coughing. Heating in Portugal. What is he talking about? I still haven't got back to the comments, and I think I might have to put the Burning Man on again just so that I can recover. Or shall I do this? Let me do this one so that you can be introduced again to the wonderful. I've forgotten her name now. I'll tell you after.
On the 25th of April, the MFA announced that the people should remain at home because they feared armed confrontations on the street. But the Portuguese population clearly disobeyed the military orders to stay at home because the thirst for freedom overcame all fears. And so people took the streets to the thousands and supported the military coup to force the resignation of the leader of the regime. The people brought red carnations and distributed them to the soldiers, who stuck them in their rifle barrels, making the flower the symbol of the revolution. The revolutionary process of 74 and 75 was one of the liveliest experiences in Portuguese history. In 19 months, there were 2 failed coups, 6 provisional governments, the process of independence of the colonies, several mass strike waves, demonstrations, occupations of thousands of houses, a profound agricultural reform, occupations of land, the creation of workers' cooperatives, workers' councils, trade unions, neighborhood commissions, self-managed factories, businesses, offices, newspapers, and radios. Because the thirst for freedom overcame all fears.
And I'm so pleased to be able to tell you that I'm not coughing anymore, for one thing, but that is Catarina Principe, who will be coming to talk to us about Portuguese politics from the left aspect, I believe. Do you remember that time when Miguel was on and then declared himself a member of the Chega Party? He gave us a really good introduction to Portuguese politics, no question about that. But it was an interesting morning. Thank goodness all that dancing and sacrificing was worth it. Okay, that's Pete. We've got Pete to thank, I think, for the rain this morning. Good work. Francis is here. Bon dia, alegria a todos. That was also unbeknownst to me. Happy Thursday. She's a sport, isn't she? If anybody wants this as a postcard, it's available. Sorry, I need just to remove your comment there, Francis, so that we can see that name in there. So that needs, across it, it needs like... greetings from Portugal, doesn't it? And a new bit of merch in the Expats Portugal range. Different strokes for different folks, I say. And there's something for everyone in this world and in this community. And, you know, our ground rules are legality and respect. I was going to say respectability. That's not true at all, is it? But being respectful towards one another. Those are the 2 poles between which this show is strung, if you like. So live and let live, eh? And if people have a view about something that gets you wound up, I think, again, I suppose that's another principle of this program, is as well as like having your say, which I know you all do, and we have a laugh and a giggle and we point the finger, but what's going on inside as well? I need to know about the 1920s civil servants strike, I think. So my dog is called Storm. We're clearing up a few things here this morning. So my dog is called Storm. That's Storm on the right. And Silver Coast Volunteers are in as well. Bon dia to the Silver Coast Volunteers, who I think have got together a package of supplies for the Ukraine. If you're still here, Jacqueline, can you mention more about that and how people can get involved? Andy, Paolo Coimbra is here as well. Morning, Paolo. How are you? And a lot of shouting in the comments. That's Andy Gilchrist, is always that influence, isn't he? Nuno Mendes is here. Be here on Tuesday to talk about that D7 insurance package. And look, he's thumbing towards himself there. Hey, I'm the man with the D7 insurance package. There's not many people who can say that in this world. Bon dia, Carl and friends. Pouring in Foz. Looks like not a good day for cutting the grass. Yes, that's one thing for me to cross off my to-do list today then, Kate. I'll see you on another occasion. There's always a special place for you. Good to see you, my dad, in a WC Fields way. What's this? I won't mind paying taxes here in Portugal because they actually use it for good stuff. I wonder do you talk to the old boys down the cafe bar in your village about that? It's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? I wonder if they would agree with you. In the immortal words of Cindy B, it's time to fondle the thumbs up button. Erotic novel entry. Boom, dear, to Antonio from Nunu there. So let's catch up with a few things. Teleprompter, of course, muted. We haven't been muted for that whole show, have we? I certainly hope not. Carlos and Lisa are here. Hello, good morning to you both. I hope you're continuing to enjoy your visit to Portugal. What an excited, yes, interesting, Suze, with the big picture here. What an excited bunch of gumpers. Is it a full moon? Right, more riotous than normal. Oh, yes, okay. So the University of California, Santa Cruz. I knew that, and there he is. That's what we're talking about there. Guess the Gumper in that picture. And we still haven't guessed the other one. I'm going to show you again until we get this right. Class, you're not going anywhere until we've guessed the Gumper. There he is, 1980s, just off stage. Who is this? Here this morning? Who is that? Incorrectly guessed as Dougie yesterday, Douglas Hughes, who will have a monthly residency now based on his popularity. We'll get Doug back. But that's not him there. Who is that, Gumper? Come on, let's get this one sorted out because we've got another one in the pipeline. Thank you very much for letting me know, Rebel Mama. That is, of course, the University of California, that acronym, abbreviation there. UCSC, University of California, Santa Cruz. There you go. A misty morning in Praia de Rocha. And if not a full moon, they are full of something. Yes, well said, Hank. Ron Shea is here as well this morning. Missed you earlier on, Ron. Ron. Didn't mean to do that, but that's got a nice ring to it. Bon dia from Ron Shea de Cascais in Portimao at the moment. Okay, so we were talking about your hometown, but you're down there in the south right now. Hope you're having a great time. MC Slug, you can trace all violence to the lack of or having poor relationships, either in childhood or in a romantic relationship. Wow, that's profound. And that is, again, that connects with what I'm talking about, doesn't it? I think, if anything, there's Buddhistic sentiment. It's not, no, is that right? Is that an oxymoron to talk about a Buddhistic sentiment? But the idea, nothing arising, transcendence and peace. If you've got something going on in there where there's something arising, I'm not one for ignoring it, but it's got to be it might be a little bit of information along the lines of what MC Slug is telling you here. And it might not be about Joe Biden. It might not be about laundry. It might be about something else to do with a poor relationship, either in childhood or a romantic relationship. Pah! Nonsense, Munson. What are you talking about? Criticizing hanging out laundry is just plain wrong. I think all the people in the world who commit violent crimes or who are engaged in terrorism at some point experience a deep lack of love. Deepak Chopra. I think just mentioning the two words Deepak and Chopra is triggering for some people. But anyway, that's from Jesus, A Story of Enlightenment. Okay, so today in Portuguese history, after party. Thanks, Prof. 1920, civil servant strike leads to a split. PM Domingos Pereira's government, and he then resigns. Workers demanded improved wages, Freudian slip. Workers demanded improved wages, but the government had fired strikers. Wow. Okay. So yes, that was worthy of inclusion there, wasn't it? Exciting stuff. Hola, bon dia from San Martino de Porto. Yes. Still live with cats. Good morning to you. Raining cats and dogs. Thank you for this, Antonio F. Can be translated as Chova a puch. Chova a puch. Try that today when you order your coffee as a little bit of an aside. And we're still looking for a name for that moment. I'm going to explain it to you. My best description of it is the Tucker Carlson moment, but I know that's a trigger for a lot of you as well. But here we go. We're in a cafe, and we go up to the counter and we say, "Hola, bon dia. Hola, bon dia. Queria café, faz favor." Okay. And the person's, okay, cafe, it's coming up. And then they put it on the counter and they blast you with something. It's going quite well up to that point. And then they blast you with some complex and rapid Portuguese, to which you just stand there and go, that Tucker Carlson face. And then it becomes clear. You don't know what they've said. They know you don't know what they've said. And it was going all so well up until that point. What is that moment called, everybody? Okay, let's go through these comments. Many of them want to say, unbeknownst to me, very good, Francis, very good indeed. Anna De Silva missed you as well. I think Chova Puch is the closest thing to Raining Cats and Dogs. Also with that, good morning to you, Anna. Great to have you here. Hold on a minute. I'm not going to just click on everything I see here. HOA, of course, was Home Owners Association. Everything is political, though, except sport, I hear. Oh, see what you did there. And another day of apartment hunting, a bit rainy today in Porto. It happens up there. It's a good day, isn't it, to assess what Porto is like in the rain, because it does happen occasionally, doesn't it? When we have our Gumper get-together barbecue, Owen on grill and Capricorn 12 as DJ and Carl sings karaoke. Don't put people off coming to our barbecue like that. First two ideas, very good. Later on in the evening, I might be tempted to do a little bit of karaoke there. Anyone got any fat bike wisdom? That's a very niche question. I hope you don't mind me saying. Hola, bon dia. Looking at a fat bike today. Shouldn't you have done that on Fat Tuesday? Anyway, from OLG, anybody who has fat bike wisdom, please share. Let's see what happens. Let's see if anyone's got any fat bike wisdom. Strangely enough, I think somebody might from this community. That's us, isn't it? With these incredible niches that we occupy. Yes, current news makes one appreciate our lives. It's true. And I must have missed something earlier from Joao F. But yeah, well, at least we have each other. I even changed the lyrics to the Beatles. All you need is love. Love is all you need. All there is love. Love is all there is. Maybe I will do karaoke. Maybe I will. Hey, man, you're beautiful too. That's lovely. Get a room. Get a room, you two. But that's a lovely moment, isn't it? Auto cue, teleprompter. Thank you. Owen's here as well. Biden's still more eloquent than T-Dog and Bush Jr. Well, I don't know. I mean, is that an accolade or not? How's it hanging this morning, Hank? No pictures, please, of that. Really, that is a highway robbery for taxes on our social security, but the 1% can't pay their fair share of taxes. Unbelievable. Okay, we're going there. Morning, Pete and Homeowners Association. This is great. What is a fat bike? That's a good question. I know I should have asked that. Sounds interesting. We are looking to buy a scooter for trips to town. Oh, you two are going to look amazing on a scooter, Portuguese styling. Morning, Victoria. I hope you're having numbers. I'm going to ignore the ats. My mistake there. Let's get through these comments to make sure we haven't. So we're looking for pithy and not pissy this morning, if I may make that distinction. I frequently watch the rerun because I live in Oregon. First time today that I can be in person. Well, I'm so sorry that you had to experience this like this, still life with cats. Patrick is here. Morning, Carl. I fly out on Saturday to start my search. Wish me luck. Of course. Bonsoir from me and all the Gumpers here to you, Patrick Karl Koenig. Very good. Yeah, you'll have a great time. Enjoy the journey. I know that sounds a bit of a cliche, and it can be a bit stressful, obviously, if you're trying to find and secure a home. But please enjoy the journey here. Easy to do it in Portugal. Toro, today I have appointed myself the keeper of the likes. Yes, that you may have that title, keeper of the likes there. Smash those likes, he says. Yeah, and Man Cave tomorrow night, live from Lisboa. Although it just looks like a very seedy bar when you see them on the screen there. It looks like a support group, I always think, with a support group where you're allowed to drink. I mean, honestly, that's a terrible formula, isn't it? Man Cave tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Bon dia from a rainy Torres Vedras from Julie as well. Julie Hart is in this morning. Good morning to you, Julie. How you doing? 10 o'clock, everybody. Come on, let's crack on. Had to reboot, lost signal when you started to talk about Carnation Revolution and inviting guests onto show. Pesky CIA. Yeah. Oh, shouldn't have read that out. Okay, so ignoring the acts, but rain, beautiful rain in Nadaduro this morning. Bon dia from a soggy Nadaduro. And who doesn't like a soggy Nadaduro in the morning? I have to, Pete is mildly moist, but when that's no surprise there. And it's raining. A bit glued to the news as well, but thankfully the farm and all in her are mildly moist this morning, and we have a mystery animal unveiling at the weekend, so all is good. Nice one, Pete. Keep it clean. Carl, I will send you a pinpoint. Yes, I might have to carry that over tomorrow. Love the crazy music at the Potence Festival. It's all crazy, carnal, and primal there, isn't it? Burning Man, Portugal, of course, and the video is awesome. It is, isn't it? I can forward that on to you if you want to see that at your leisure there. Still life with cats. Where is my Bovril? Oh, was that because we were at a bonfire there? Can you imagine? Very good. Can you imagine? Prof, you've enjoyed yourself this morning, haven't you? You've had an outpouring of something or other. Good therapy at someone's expense. Can you imagine those costumes drying on the balcony? I would like to see that. That's a really good, I mean, maybe we can organize that with a little bit of Photoshop. Yeah, esta chova pimpoch. There, very good. Learn that, everybody. Try that for the Tucker Carlson moment. Working on a better name for that. I'm sure you would get a glowing reference. Is that a plutonium joke there? Okay, and too soon, Pete. Too soon. Let's send Carl in. He can slide into Putin's inner circle. What? Okay, and it is, yes, it is Shuva and Bush there in Pete's part. I'm not going to read out any Russian stuff at the moment, or Russian government and Putin stuff at the moment, because it's 2 minutes past 10 and it's not going to be going anywhere soon. Well, I hope it does, but I don't think it will. The eucalyptus forests are silent when you walk through them because they suppress the indigenous species of fauna and flora. Up here, they are removing many of them for wildfire control. The circle of life, or follow the money, whichever way you look at it. We cannot commit violence to end violence. Yep. Maybe a contract kidnapping to a preschool and or petting zoo. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I don't think that is a CIA tactic, unless you really just want to mess with someone's mind, which I think they do, right, from time to time. In that case, you should have come a couple of months ago. What? Not sure what Antonio is referring to there. See, I'm missing a lot of context. And there, everybody, lies another problem in life. Missing context, right? He's got a lot of cork trees, as Peter Bleach, just casting a glance over that. And coming to the resolving comments, will we ever find out what a fat bike is, I wonder? Oh, if you're thinking about a scooter, you might want to consider an electric cargo bike. Cargo bikes are amazing. After you have one, you don't know how you lived without it. Oh, there's a challenge. So with all this rain, yes, very good. You really have knocked yourself out this morning. Prof. Okay. This is where we got to the bit about the comments about people's homes. Oh, Trevor Jones is here, everybody. That's great. Trevor's here. Sidewalk cleaning, raining in Lisbon. There. So many. Thank you so much, everybody. But I just can't get to them all. Maybe we have to have two chats, one for the stuff and one for the stuff to be displayed on the screen. Okay, this is important though, right? Bon dia todos. We are residents now. We had our CEF meeting yesterday and are now on the train from Lisbon to Porto. Thank you, Carl, for introducing us to Gilda and amazingly competent staff. Wonderful news, Jim White. Congratulations to you both. That's superb. This is a funny story. Yeah, great news, Jim, Mandy. Superb. 17, I worked in Harrods selling silver cutlery. Check you out. You weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You had to wait 17 years to do that. One day, I was running through the spiel with a clearly very rich woman and said, "These aren't dishwasher proof." And she said, "Oh, the maid won't mind." Those are the circles he operates in, folks. Hail, hail, all the gangs here. Erotic novel as they stroke the hand on the like button. The pleasure of pushing it was more rewarding than they could ever imagine. 77,000 euros for the house in the mountains. Views galore, wild horses walking by, close to everything. Don't believe the hype. People. Okay. But see, you've already put the price up, Rebel Mama. People will be wanting to move up there now you've said that. That's another 0 on there or something, isn't it now? Okay. No body marks on the bed. No. Yes. Malveira de Serra is a spectacular village to live. Yeah. Thank you for that, Nunu, for that constructive and positive comment in the midst of much negativity, I think. Where can I hang the washing? Yes. I think we addressed that, did we not? Food and shelter is, and the love of their people to care for each other and share their experience and trauma. We're looking at some simple Maslow's hierarchical stuff there, aren't we? Going back to basics to sort things out in this crazy world of ours. In the olden days, rooms were smaller for the air conditioning. Okay. And this is a lovely reprieve from the news. Well, at least we're that right this morning, like Trump talking about the revolutionary capturing airports. Don't understand that one. I think people have been typing very quick and fast, desperate to get... This is funny though. The roof rack took out the chandelier. I mean, that car was a spoilt car. Let's face it. In that particular listing, I'd want the butler included. All right, what you do in your personal life is your business. And on another topic, I've been trying Francesinha lately since they're all different. Has anyone have any fave places for them? Francesinha recommendations. Got to speak to Joel, I think, in Matsushino, haven't we? For that. Talk of mouldy bathrooms. What's up with you, some of you this morning? The listing for hiding oligarchs. Is it possible? Thank you for a sensible question here, Sam. Is it possible to purchase Cascais for the whole of Cascais for a golden visa, or is it in a restricted? I don't know the answer to that, whether it's still in the golden visa. We have done a webinar on that. I think a simple search, golden visa map 2022 will find you that, or ask that question in our forum, of course. Quinta Patino is a top premium condom. Much more rather than Aroera. Okay, fair enough, Nuno. I was just trying to, keep up with the Joneses there. Gemini's in as well. Sorry for the late coming in, but Aisha, and yeah, you and you. What is it? Top-rated condoms there. Top premium condoms available on the show this morning. Sorry for the late coming in, but I shall follow up on YouTube later. Also, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Gemini, for that. And thank you, Sam, for that tech advice. We're still only probably halfway through the comments. I'm going to have to scroll forward and go and have a cup of coffee. Kenny and cafe at the moment. We've got to read this. I simply love the Carnation Revolution piece. It says it all right here, right now, at this time and this place. It is all so relevant. Yes. Red carnations and sunflowers, of course. How about a sunflower revolution of the people? Peace, not war. Thank you very much. Beauty is fleeting, but stupid is forever. Do you think so? Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely, indeed. And what triggers me? Thank you for sharing this. Going a bit deeper here. Thank you, Rebel Mama. What triggers me about this is that people are struggling and losing their homes because people who can afford expensive second homes are one way or another exploiting someone to make that money. Aren't we all? I think we all have to put our hands up to that. It's the system we live in. But that's not. It's not unavailable for change and transformation, isn't it? But I think we all live at the cost of someone else. I think all of us here, don't we? I mean, a serious moment. We are expats in Portugal, remember? MFA, the Movimento de Forças Armadas, for better or for worse, Rebel Mama. And I know I'm not attacking you, but just making that point. And it's work in progress, isn't it? Hey, Carl, my new close neighbor. Yes, when am I going to cook for the family Munson? Later on today, hopefully. Loved all the furnishings. Call me crazy. And a Persian rug on a terracotta floor. Yeah, there's something about it. It's not everyone's cup of tea, is it, Victoria? But you can still look at it and go, wow. Surely there are more deserving projects than big CO2 emitting house. Well, that's not for you then, Michelle. By the sound of it, you're not going to be calling Wiley later today. You'll be looking. I think you're more interested up north, aren't you? Talk to Rebel Mama. She's got the angle on it up there. I think this morning is completely crazy. Yes, full stop. Oh no, the time has just flown by. It's making the choice of how you spend the money that counts to me. Yes, of course. And in its own way, having 6.5 million to spend on a house brings its own set of boo-hoo problems. But yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? We can make a problem of anything, us human beings. I think it's what we specialize in. Lovely presentation, Wiley. Muito obrigado. I'll pass that on. Probably will forget and not pass that on, but I'm going to do it psychically now. Thank you very much for that, Victoria. Yeah, enjoyable. I think have a little nosy round at those super homes. Yesterday at a petrol station in Northern Ireland, the cost of diesel was 154. Today is 180. That's madness. What is going? Well, we do know what's going on, don't we? Yes, I wanted to service the building. Again, what you do in your private life is your business. This is not the place for such sentiments. Love this group. So much. The whiff was powerful. A palpable whiff. Okay, smelt it, dealt it, Andy. Carl, when you hit the 10,000 members, can we have a 3-hour show? Oh, okay then. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. We're nearly there. I think we've only got 90 more subscribers to go, and we've got 10,000 on YouTube. Can you believe it? Give us another clue on the Gumper. Guess the Gumper. Let's get this one. Not keen on anti-laundry. Yes, not keen on anti-laundry sentiments. Did you order? I don't think I should say that out loud, Chris, just in case something bad happens. How expensive is rent? I'm sorry, we've missed out on asking that now, but it'll be at the higher end, as I'm sure you can gather, Zach. But get in touch with Wiley. I'm sure she can help you out with that. And here we go. Carl, is that last picture midlife crisis? It is. Well done. Thank you very much. The mystery has been solved. And that, to guess the Gumper, was, of course, that handsome devil known as the Prof, known as Eusebio, known as Midlife Crisis World Tour. And for the life of me, cannot find it. Oh, here we go. There he is. In 1985, I think he said, coming off stage. We need to know more about this coming off stage business. What band were you in? And can we listen to the music? Well guessed. Rebel Mama. Nice one. There he is. There he goes. We'll have another one tomorrow. Fantastic. Send in to 913-590-303 your pickies if you want to be featured in that. But don't say on the screen here, just sent you a picture, because that'll be too much of a clue. Okay. More expensive than downtown Lisbon. It can be, I think. Yeah, absolutely. It can be. I need a rock hammer. What's going on in the Capricorn household this morning? And been told there's more social housing in Cascais, so I assume it'll be cheaper rent there. It's a Portuguese mix-up, Cascais. So, yeah, get in touch with Wiley, I would say, as a first step there, or pop something on the forum, expatsportugal.com/community. And just finally then, MC Slug says, unlike Banana Slug, midlife never shows his own face here. And that might challenge him. That might challenge him to do that. Yes, it's Midlife Crisis World Tour. Nice one, Rebel Mama. Well done. I'm looking forward to shopping for my multi-million villa. In the meantime, I'll be looking for caravans. Anyone got a fat bike or a caravan for sale this morning? You lovely lot. I love you. Leave you this morning. Maybe join us on the Ask Our Expats webinar tonight from 7:30. Gary is here with a simple yeah, don't forget, the rest of the week looks like this. So tonight, Ask Our Expats, Pets in Portugal. See you Premium Plus folks, the accelerated cohort. See you at 9 to talk about friends, family, keeping in touch with those all-important relationships. Homesickness, that sort of thing. Let's have a chat about that tonight. Let's talk. It's the basis of all great transformation, isn't it? And coping with things. Talking. Being on the run, as it's downside, says the Prof. We knew it. It's all this, this left-leaning anti-CIA stuff. It's just a double bluff, isn't it? Very possibly. Barbed wire is great for hanging out the laundry. Are you referring to gated communities there? I spent $10,000 on therapy to say I was very angry with him. And yes, thank you for prompting me, Suze. Jenny B in tomorrow for Feel Good Friday, and the Man Cave tomorrow night at what do I read this? Yes, Man Cave tomorrow night at 10, and even oligarchs hang the laundry out to dry. Different sort of laundering, I think, going on with the oligarchs. Wow, it's been emotional. See you tomorrow. All the best. I'm sure I've forgotten things as well this morning. Let's just have a quick look at the picture deck, and I will put up our picky tribute to Wiley to end the show with, if you want to have another look at that. But what's this? Oh, I know what I didn't show. A lovely picture from Evora, from the coach. Look at these lovely windmills in Evora. Let me just put it on the screen and tell you where it is. From the coach. And this from Lonnie. I call my face the Tucker Carlson, my Portuguese. Or Portupanic, very good, depending upon the intensity of brain freeze. Yes, we'll go with that. Portuguese or Portupanic. We can have different faces. We could have a different code, can't we? We could have different levels done in images. I think. Send those pictures as well of your Portuguese and Portupanic faces, please, to 913-590-303. Coach Turner, where are you? See so much incoming. We definitely got one from the coach. Oh yeah, the windmills, not the windows, the windmills of your mind. You're looking. No, the windmills of Alto de São Bento Évora. Quite a sight there for you to feast any sore eyes you might have. Thank you so much, folks. I will see you maybe later tonight or tomorrow morning with Jenny B for some Feel Good Friday. To me, like I said, tomorrow is my Saturday morning. This is Friday for me. Woohoo!